Well, it was Tom Alter who told me about this role, and he said that it would be a very good role for me, and that was, of course, enough. Then I learned more about the film and the role, and that fascinated me even more. It was an exploration into the collective identity of the Parsis, and of course, I love the Parsis. That was fascinating to me.
You. I come to you without the false modesty of those who would not tell you their names. I am Kardir, High Priest of Ahura, the Wise One.
Once I learned about the character, it was even more fascinating. This gentleman, Kardir, was a high priest of three Persian emperors in the 3rd century AD. And he was a complex character. He was a religious person, but he was also an extremely political person. He did, there is another high priest who was sentenced to death, and it is thought that that was because of Kardir. In my dialogue, for example, Kardir is talking about the virtues of conservative Zoroastrianism, a more conservative strain of Zoroastrianism, and he's fulminating to a degree against a more modernist, a more open interpretation of Zoroastrianism. And what I found fascinating in the dialogue was at some point he mentions the Buddha as one of many people who are clouding mankind's minds by not alluding to God. Kardir was clear that there was a heaven and a hell. At one point in his life, he said he had decided that there was a heaven and a hell, which was a little different from some of the other Zoroastrian traditions, which were not so definitive and not so categorical. So it was fascinating, and for me, as you know, to play that, it's a very powerful person. Kardir was powerful not only in terms of authority, but as a person, he was a very strong person, and I have, my interests are politics and geopolitics and all that, and I loved putting myself in that character who was there at a very crucial point in the evolution of Zoroastrianism, and who was to a degree steering it the one way, and to a degree you could say performing on this large Iranian Zoroastrian stage. It was fascinating. When I arrived for the shoot, in the dressing room, I put on the robes of the priest, and we had to walk a little while to where the shot was actually taken, and the director, Urvaji, gave me a very effective, very minimalist direction. She said that, do you feel the duality that is implicit in these robes? And by duality, of course, she meant both the weight of holiness, the obligation of holiness, and also the weight of power, the authority. And that just did it for me. So as we walked closer and closer to the exact spot where we were to shoot, it was as if her words helped me immediately don the personality of Kardir. And that was, it was quite exciting.